Hello, welcome, everyone. I hope you liked the intro song. This is the first video with my official intro. If you like K-pop related commentary, this video is for you. Today we are going to be talking about why there is so much stigma around being a K-pop fan that would make you quick to label yourself as a Koreaboo. If you need to speed up or slow down this text-to-speech audio, feel free to do so. Now let's get into it. Quick disclaimer, I recognize that Koreaboos exist and that there are K-pop fans. Could we even call them K-pop fans? Who are Koreaboos? However, this video isn't about them. This is about understanding why normal K-pop fans, who simply enjoy K-pop music and watch K-pop content in moderation, feel as if they may not be appreciating K-pop or Korean culture in the right way. This will be part 1 in a 2-part topic surrounding the idea of being a Koreaboo. My next video will cover the behaviors of a Koreaboo versus someone who simply appreciates Korean culture. Okay, now let's actually get right into the video. First, I want to talk about addressing internalized biases about the K-pop fandom. Personally, I have dealt with feeling embarrassed about liking K-pop. I know this doesn't represent all fans, but my 2 closest friends who I thought of as average K-pop fans would always talk about how hot their biases were and would just be overly obsessed with their idol's looks. I have never experienced or even seen such obsession towards a singer before, so I knew I didn't want to be associated with K-pop for that reason. I only started liking K-pop after I saw BTS's performance of Mic Drop at the 2018 New Year's Rockin' Eve celebration, which was absolutely lit, by the way, and even then, I felt embarrassed telling those friends and other friends that I had become an ARMY. What was your first impression with K-pop? Let me know in the comments below. I do want to say that if you had a similar experience to this, you can't use a few K-pop fans to judge the masses. Sure, there will be people who are obsessed with idols, who probably fantasize about being with them or other creepy things like that. But, you cannot determine the majority of a group of people, especially a fanbase based on a few people. Even so, you would be basing your opinion on those that are vocal about their obsession or likingness to K-pop. You wouldn't have heard from the perspective of those that aren't as vocal or explicit with their attraction to K-pop, and who enjoy it themselves in moderation. I bring this up because a lot of K-pop fans on Twitter are pretty vocal about their obsession with K-pop, especially the toxic ones, and this could be the reason why you base your opinion of K-pop fans on those very outspoken people. Take this video from D'Angelo Wallace. I do enjoy his content a lot. I really like how he breaks down his arguments and explains his thoughts pretty clearly with a lot of details and evidence in his videos. However, in this video, he fails to do so. A lot of information about K-pop fans that he is bringing to his audience largely has to do with what he sees on Twitter. Note how I say that there are a lot of outspoken toxic K-pop fans on Twitter, and the main points he uses to summarize and explain what K-pop fans are like are based on how some fans interact with K-pop hashtags on Twitter. This is problematic because he only talks about the small fraction of K-pop fans who are overly obsessed with K-pop and essentially on the platform of Twitter. There is no mention of the large percentage of K-pop fans worldwide who do not use Twitter and do not exhibit Koreaboo behavior. But I will give a more thorough review on his video in another video. For now, I would like to say that I do believe a good amount of people who aren't into K-pop will believe that K-pop fans are Koreaboos to some degree. It's hard for them to separate the Koreanness of K-pop to the point where they believe if you find something remotely interesting that isn't from your culture, you are obsessed with that culture. I think this has to do with the fact that they find it hard to be interested in other things that might be heavily influenced by another culture. They don't think it's worth their time to explore something new and to just learn to appreciate other perspectives. If you're in the West, this will likely have to do with Eurocentrism. Because the song isn't in English, it's not worth listening to. It doesn't make sense. Some might even call it nonsense. And this wouldn't even be covering the misogynistic and sexist outlooks that some people have about K-pop. One thing that I would say to those people, who can't seem to wrap their heads around learning something from a different culture, is that I do believe Korean culture plays a huge role in K-pop, hence the name, K-pop, but I also think there are aspects about it that make it neutral and something for everyone to relate to and enjoy. For example, we can all agree that music is universal. No matter what language music is in, we can all feel ourselves moved from the sound of the music. We can look up the lyrics if we are interested enough, but we can relate to the vibe of pretty much any song in any language. Secondly, watching lives are basically watching Instagram lives of your favorite pop singer. Holding live sessions aren't unique to Korean culture. Pretty much any influencer, singer, celebrity will go live at some point to communicate with their fans. Fan signs, fancy albums, and playing fun games on talk shows are not a Korean phenomenon. At least to some extent. Thus, it's not appropriate to call K-pop fans Koreaboos just for liking K-pop because a lot of K-pop related attributes are not unique to Korean culture. Okay, that was my analysis on why people are quick to label themselves and others as Koreaboos just for liking K-pop. I know this was kind of short. I wanted to make it digestible and straight to the point. In my next video, I will get into differentiating a Koreaboo and someone who is just interested in K-pop or appreciates Korean culture. Thank you for watching. See you soon.